Caster's Curse is a very, very real thing. There it is, like Boomich, WSP kill.
Like we all expected. Yeah, running through Ram Smoke, it was fading, even so. It's optimistic for Cole. There was no flash on the close side, so Pooh just given free reign. But even then, that is a lot. That is a lot. Yeah, Electronic pushed mid. He killed a player up. I think it was Blame F up Cat, and then he dropped like a little back and grabbed the other gun. So him and Simple were just armed immediately as well. So even if Boomich didn't get away with a double there, like that still could have been a very easy round for Na'Vi. They just love it when they don't have the weaponry. I don't know what changes. But they're winning more rounds with less than they are with more. Will this be their undoing now, as everything is available? The AWP on Simple, 4 rifles, and remaining cognizant that they don't have that mid info. Electronic is creeping through the spawn, keeping his eyes on the vent. Cole moved down mid. Poison with only a P250. Poor guy. Doesn't want to lose the bomb either. Simple's waiting for that fade on the smoke. There's lots of players towards connector right now. 2 CTs plus Simple back in the site. He's going to get split from the ramp, so he needs this cover to be perfect here. Flash comes through, Simple repositions. The flash is good. Conflict sprays, but so do Boomich and Electronic. Simple with a missed shot going back in. Blame F needs the mid kill, and he has it, but there's more players in. Con and Rush gets so deep before Simple takes him down. It's too late. He finds Boomich. Now Simple trapped, but he's at least going to be able to drop one more. Blame F, 20 seconds to do it, the bomb is loose, and he's not being given the second kill. He never saw Perfecto.
Oh, Blame F is just saving, just migrating away. That's it. No option for him there. It's a nice try from Cole. Like, admittedly, they made that round closer than it looked like it was going to be. But sadly, you know, that double con setup with the flash that Simple provided. Simple might have only got 2 kills in that round, but he really is like a difference maker there, right? He gets the 2 that get out through ramp. Yeah, okay, Boomich dies because like Rush gets a little deeper than maybe they were ready for him to get. Doesn't matter. You still get all the kills you had to get if you're Simple, and you set up your 2 teammates to open up that round, taking a huge advantage and a lot of ground away from complexity as well. So yeah, that's a bit of a rough one for Cole.
Yeah, Rush thinks the same. Yeah, and I really like a read from Na'Vi, right? They gave up middle, they knew that Cole were going to be able to fast cap, fast con, and they were so set up for the con split, which is really what Cole have been doing every round, right? Just con splitting. Blame, is it an early or is it a late play? He's got the AK at B, Na'Vi, 3 players here, all the Glocks filtering out Palace. Blame could lurk out, but it's likely that Na'Vi will just chew up Cole in this round. Boomich. Imagine he wouldn't kill all 4. Should be eventually overwhelmed, but depends on whether Electronic can help him out from the stairs side. Smoke on the Palace. But it's not really a deterrent. If Cole wanted to go, they would just jump out. And Blame F, who was unable to get a B pick as Na'Vi go for more info and check the apartments. Now Blame's come all the way back, so the info's there. Simple might even pre-rotate out of the site. And even though Cole only have 1 man inside of A, this round surely can't be a lost one.
Yeah, surely, right? Surely it's all fine. There it is. The rotations are good. Electronic takes 3 out of the round, and Na'Vi are up in the lead at 3-2. But now the easy streak is officially over. Right, you've got to worry about the big guns coming back out for Cole. I mean, I've seen bigger guns in my time. Right, Blame F taking a Mac 10. Small gun for a big man.
Yeah. Obviously a little broken from that save still. And is it just a fast B execute for Cole? They're setting up towards apartments quick. Simple with a cat jump does make it across. And that's a nice start. Config killed in middle. Cole wanted to go for B.
So the thought of like Blame F's huge hulking arms holding a little tiny weapon is funny to me. Maybe it's funny to you. Just imagine it. Here's the push into B. And trying to go through the smokes again. They're trying to brave this smoke wall in the B site, and they do get in. Will they get this bomb planted? Right now, Perfecto is still a problem. Just trying to buy time, and the rest of his teammates tucked in the market now might be able to help him out. Lose 2 in the blink of an eye, and this is left even odds up through short. Boomich is sneaking. bombs planted in a bit of a weird spot here. They need one of these gunfights to come in. And Boomich is pretty scary on this wrap. He might have a freebie here, and indeed he does. He collects both kills from the short side. So Boomich locks that round in. Na'Vi up onto 4. Perfecto definitely deserves an honorable mention there as well for staying alive so long, for not letting that bomb go down right away.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more out of Na'Vi already, right? I think some of that is coming off of Simple's freedom on this map, right? You can play this one. If you give up middle, you can easily play it to have, 4-side players and then just that float player, right? And have Simple just go wherever he wants, wherever the action is, running around, finding his fight, triple stacking B, back in CT on A, a very safe position, but ones you can find extreme value from and deny those bomb plants. So, yeah, we're seeing that. He's going to go back to middle, dropping the molly in window, trying to put a smoke off. But nowadays we do see more variances of T-side smokes land in window that will fully bloom, no matter whether the Molotov is thrown or not. So, not in this round. Cole taking their time again. Config gets out mid alive this time. This might just be a repeat of the previous round, but with Config playing it a little safer, right? Not wanting to get picked by the AWP early that is now in the B bomb site. So Config's room to strike is granted rather. So he'll move up catwalk, but Molly comes down, he tells him yet again, can't throw their nades into B, and here they come.
Yeah, the read was just too good for Na'Vi. There's so many players in the right place, and they all strike in tandem. Config knows he's walking into a lost round, so he will just back out of it. Na'Vi up onto 5.
Yeah, if there's one thing that we can say right now, it's like Na'Vi know exactly what Con are doing, right? Like that connected crunch that we saw, Na'Vi had 3 players with their eyes on Con. Both B plays for Con these last 2 rounds, Na'Vi have had 3 players in B, like absolutely perfect reads. So that's not going to bode well for Con as he's starting to switch things up, try and stay fresh. Config, can he get away with this one? 20 seconds, they're on cat, they're in con. If they get impatient, they can push him. But it feels like he'll live to fight another day, a hero AK in a follow-up round. But ultimately, it's still a lost round, it's still no money for Cole. And Boomich is coming in to punish, but he won't get there in time.
There were some nice little details there. I think it was, I didn't catch who threw it. Might have been Big. One of these short players throws a smoke that lands in con, right? Gives the players in A an opportunity to peek over the top. That denies Config any kind of short wrap. And also, he was making his way up through cat when that smoke comes in. Obviously, in tandem with that entire play complexity, you're throwing some fake smokes over in A. I think they were hoping that con smoke was like the reactionary play to those A smokes coming in, right? Trying to deny the con control. So Config ends up like waiting in middle, right? For kills that are actually never arriving. The truth is, Na'Vi, they knew what was going on in that round, and they kind of duped you into taking the bait if you're complexity.
On top of that con smoke, there was a short molly as well, so Config doesn't want to just sit behind the Molotov, open to what is or could be a one-way in con, but also getting swung on cat. Really, that molly was just to let Na'Vi triple fight the B apartments, and they mow everyone down with no problem. So a nice detail. Smoke does land, but there's a nice big gap for Simple to exploit. However, no kill being gifted. Cole playing it safely behind the boxes. Pressure on Config in this round if they want to win it. And again, just looking like they want to go back to B. Deep smoked out of this apartment. So Rush says no, he gets out of there for now. Blame smoking top con. Ooh, kind of ugly.
It is a bit of an ugly smoke, isn't it? Seen better, but no one's exploiting that little gap. No one apart from Config, of course. And Na'Vi start to abandon this triple B. As this has happened, still looks like it's on the cards for Cole. They run through the app smoke again, and much to the same results. Perfecto's in with the double. Missed shot from Simple, but recovery's in. It's all on Blame F again, this time a 1v3. Down into lower. don't know, man. Complexity. It feels like so often this is the situation they are in. Like one guy left alive, playing for some damage, maybe playing for a save. I mean, this constant saving is kind of doing you in if you're Complexity. Like, yeah, so many of these rifle rounds have always had a caveat, like an SMG here and there. That kill has enticed BlameF to give this a look in at the short side. Na'Vi can win this to time. They're not in any danger, and the bomb dropped in apartments. BlameF will decide to do a save, so there it is.
Yeah, it's like we're seeing all these clutch situations for Cole, but none of them are winnable. Like all of them are with the bomb under Na'Vi control with that player left in mid. And what we have seen from Na'Vi already is not only the stacks that are good, but complete lack of mid control, right? It's by design. They're not playing for it. And so Cole are given all this room, but they're not being able to really do anything with it. The util is stopping them from splitting. And they have gone towards connector, taking control of the middle area. It's been, numbers for Na'Vi in the A site. And so what do you even do here if you're going go standard right, try and throw an A, execute your default? Maybe they should attempt some window boost at some point in this game, because it's something that Na'Vi haven't really been looking at. They've been considering it, but it's not something that Cole know. Ooh, missed shot from the orb. It gets out of there alive, half HP, and the Deagle on config has said, the damage done, the saves for Cole have cost them. Movement on ramp close up. They're not in a hurry to rid him of his position. He'll get aggressive instead and rush. Save JKS who was flashed out.
This is the first bit of good news you had of your Complexity in a long while. Like you're finally starting a round in 5-on-4. So they group back up in the apartments, but the bomb is over here in middle on the back of config, so maybe a B split on the cards here. Perfecto's pushed into the apartments, and Na'Vi once again, seemingly with the read, have rotated 2 players around to fill out this B bomb site. This is a very deadly spot to go running into if you're Cole. And so once again, they try to brave the apartments. They lose pretty much everyone at short side, and with it, the bomb as well. So this now becomes a recovery mission for Complexity. The bomb loose over a short, and still in B, still waiting, is Electronic. They don't know about it. No one's even considering it, but he's whiffed the spray. That gives Poison a second chance, a shot of redemption into Simple. Just the orb left alive and Cap. BlameF on the other side, and finally given a clutch to attempt. Very little time. He needs the bomb. He needs this kill, one or the other, and he's creeping up on Simple, who's just waiting, jumping around, baiting the shots. Time is the problem, and Simple swings to lock it in. The clutch goes in favor of Na'Vi, and they're up onto 7.
I felt like surely Blame had that right. He got the pre-fire, Simple was jumping around, he's done damage. And Simple is not missing a beat right now. Very fast shot. Let's play and get the bomb, entices him to walk backwards, and that's the fight that Simple wants. Very, very good. And again, Na'Vi just want everyone to be like they've never been caught out of position. They've never not had numbers in the right place. There's nothing to rely on here if you're Cole. Bomb getting dropped, right? The sad part about that is if the bomb was in apartments, that's probably their round. But every time they've taken it apps, they got rolled in the apartments. They have 3 players of Na'Vi in the site watching them. So they try and switch it up, they try and send the bomb in through the other route, and it's to the same result. Na'Vi 7-2 up. For the first time in a while, even looking into middle, even keeping their eyes on it. With that re-smoke from Bit up on shore, Electronic is safe for now. Him and Simple again playing side by side towards the jungle side as Cole set up in the palace with the bomb, and they're trying to wait for this util to dissipate before they commit. Config gonna drop that flash now, the A split coming in. Still re-smoke and Money as well. Na'Vi throwing the utility right in. Simple gets an opener, and he's gonna follow up as well. Bomb is loose on the side. Player on top of the stairs. Simple, no problem to flick back up, and now it's all Poison again. Another difficult clutch with no bomb, but he has found Simple to stop.
Never meant to be easy, never gonna be easy. Oh, but he's isolating his fights well. Poison, the third man, sprays him down and keeps it alive for Na'Vi, who are onto 8. Complexity are getting run over on the T side of their map pick. No contest, so many of these rounds left in impossible clutches. And with Simple making plays like this happen, it does leave you wondering. Do Na'Vi still have fight in them yet?
Oh, Simple certainly does. He doesn't want to get, eliminated in the first round here. 14-3, you can barely blame him. Putting his heart in the game. They got to keep it up, right? Hold the pause, trying to bite back in. And if they recover with, decent half, again, it can come down to that question of whether the T side of Na'Vi is up to stuff. But for now, the City side, hey, that might decide how this game's going, right? We have another low economy round for complexity. We have Na'Vi look at this streak, 8 in a row right now. No room back in. No clutches for Cole. It's got to feel good to be Na'Vi right now, but will that remain forever? Simple ground peaking connected with the orb. With only Deagles for Cole. The options are limited.
I just don't understand how in like the space of 2 maps, you can have the Na'Vi we just had on Dust. They're getting kind of blown out of the water, never even really in it. So now suddenly this, and also like the calls from Movich have been perfect. I don't think you could have played this CT side better yet. Like every single push that Cole have been committed to has been into the stack site, through smokes, through utility, and that's been a reoccurring thing.
Well, that's one thing that Na'Vi have said in interviews. They've even mentioned electronic calling on this map, right? Obviously, we don't know, who's reading into the stacks, who's reading into the rotates. That is electronic or Boomage, but if it is electronic, damn, dude, going pretty well right now. Boomage just off the leash, loose and doing everything. 3 in the round, finally traded, but this is a good position for Cole to be in. They managed to get another as well. Perfecto D down a bit. Welcome to the series. Welcome to the server. But can you show us why you're here? 1v2. Molly down. The spray is good, but it's only damage. And Poison's going to get that kill. So Cole sneak around past the keeper. They steal a deco. And that's the start of the recovery, right? They needed that one. And even after 8 rounds in a row, this is so CT money, isn't it? Na'Vi, there was some close rounds. There was some, lost players. And now they're broke. Simple has enough for the York, but no one else, really. Only 2 players is enough to buy full. So, right now, obviously, Simple has been the means to an end in many of these rounds, but Cole has been given a very good opportunity to recover and still get what could be a 6-7 round half at the end of things, which would be absolutely fine. But, yeah, I do wonder where the calls are coming from, who they're coming from, and what Na'Vi we have right now in comparison to, as you said, Dust 2, which was a completely different team. What do you think Flamey's doing right now, Harry?
Hey, Flamey, if I know Flamey like I think I know Flamey, he's sat back, he's still wearing the Na'Vi jersey, he's cheering the boys on, he's got like a flag with Bit's face on it that he's waving around right now. Cool. He's very supportive, this Flamey.
Oh,
and I have no doubt he's happy that this is what Na'Vi are bringing to the table, 8-3 up.
Oh, lốp đuôi nó mỏi chứ.
Not really showing signs of slowing down yet either.
Lost their first round since the opening 2. And will the money cost them here? We've got ping issues for complexity.
Oh, also, I noticed this earlier, Boomich growing his hair out. Actually looks really quite nice on him. I like him with some long hair.
Nice.
Cutie strike. Gorgeous offensive.
Wow.
There we go. Well, we do have some cuties though, man. Like, you got the little hedgehog hair here. That's very, very sweet. I love that. Simple, just, what is this wolf? That's my favorite quote from him. That is my favorite quote out of Simple. What is this wolf? That's my exact feelings.
I think mine is, how do you
that was another good one. We've had a couple of banging Simple ones.
Yeah, he's full of them. Some great shots as well. Why is the AWP up in this round class?
I'll say WP, that's risky.
But for a man that's 14-4,
you take them risks, right?
One left.
Yeah, we're waiting for Poison to get back in.
Come on, Poison.
he wasn't the only one having issues.
Get it together. Hop in the server.
Look, we've got him here, and I'm happy with that. He can take all the time he needs, Harry. Get acclimatized. As long as you play in the series, as long as we have poisoning Cole, and everything's going well. Not this T side though.
Yeah, so not really everything.
Yeah, we give them time. Give them time. We've set this up for a cold comeback.
Well, you know, the one thing I will say is, like, famously, the T sides, especially as of late, is where Navi felt like they kind of hit some struggles, right? And that was showcased in a very big way as well back on Dust 2. So,
yeah, if anything, it was more that CT side like than anything, but that was just coming off the back of some really nice calls out of Cole, like hitting B when they have one player there, like back-to-back B, executes. They didn't really need to show too much in that game either, so Dust 2 is a map where, like, you can just get kind of, it's similar to Inferno, but I'd say even more so, like, you can just get called out of spawn. Like, if you don't have the triple long and the T's take it, you're in a really rough spot if you don't have the utility to retake. Same thing with the B play where we saw Flamey get overwhelmed in back-to-back rounds. And this is not where that's going to be the case, right? You have far more options, far more chances to rotate out to change your mind in the mid-round on this T side. So I hope Na'Vi do have a little bit more to show in that second half, as well as what we're already getting out, which is a pretty good game out of them. I don't know, would it felt weird to just see Na'Vi get banged out 2-0'd? We always talk of this team as the team to start slow, finish strong, you know, group stage, yeah, playoffs, well, that's when they really, you know, show up, but a little bit dangerous. Oh, well, we got one rush in the server. We also have another Rushley behind the screens here with a pro tip, so let's check that out and see what he's got to show us today.
We have another execute for your friends to learn. This execute will help when you are taking the B-side on Mirage. For this setup, you will need at least 3 Future Pros and 3 smokes and optionally a bunch of flashes. Let's break this down. Future Pro number 1. You'll be throwing one of the arch smokes. To do this, line yourself up at this corner of the cracked stone floor. Aim at the left side of this dark squarish smudge on the wall, then simply jump throw the smoke. Since you threw this from close to mid, I would recommend wrapping around cap to get to B, or maybe holding off rotation. Future Pro number 2. You will throw the other arch smoke. To do this, line up with the middle part of this window. Aim to the sky and position your crosshair so it is in the middle of the antenna and the overhang. Then throw the smoke normally. Future Pro number 3. You will be smoking off the window leading into the B side. To throw the smoke, get yourself into this corner. Aim at the corner of this large tower, then jump throw the smoke. Nice and easy. With all 3 of these smokes thrown, taking the B side should be much easier than it would be without them. To make this even easier on your team, get your players to lob as many flashes as possible over the top of B. And as always, good luck.
Back into a little pause. It's fine though, we got the music, and the music makes this pause feel as emotional as it is. Hugo, I think I got some fan fiction for us.
Yeah?
I think I do. So imagine this, right? Imagine. Everyone, imaginations at the ready.
Okay.
It's 2012, and for some reason, you find yourself at this cyber arena in Kiev. You're wondering, well, why am I here? Don't worry about that. You go in, you sit down, sat just next to you, right next to you, playing away. Looks like he's been there a while, smells like he's been there a while. There's this 14-year-old kid, right, and he's just bragging out. And he tells you, he looks you in the eye, like, you know, you get a conversation going, he speaks your language, whatever that may be.
Okay.
And you're saying, like, yeah, man, no, so you're into CS, I take it. And the guy's like, yeah, well, cool. And you play a few games together, this guy's telling you, yeah, man, I just play CS all the time, I want to make it big. Well, what do you know, a couple of years later, that guy, named Simple, joins a real big team, doesn't he? Starts to move up through the rankings. Look at him now. That one guy you met all those years ago, Hugo, in the cyber arena.
Yeah, that cyber arena is cool.
Now closed, yeah. Pretty sure.
Little land cafe, no, that's cool. I remember when we used to go there in Kiev, and we cast out of there. And I spoke to some of the staff, and they were like, yeah, like all these guys who were like 14 years old, 15 years old, all these like Ukrainian guys would show up at the crack of dawn. You know, they'd finish. They'd finish school. They'd go do their homework. They'd get 2-3 hours sleep. They'd rock up 3 in the morning after a quick early 9 p.m. bedtime, and they'd play like 6 hours of whatever it be, CS, World of Tanks, Dota, before school. Go to school, repeat the cycle. For me, it's backwards. I gave into the late hours. These guys started early. These guys were grinding for the morning.
That's one of the things I love so much about esports, though, man. It's just that, like, for so many people, like, video games, you know, there are, like, form of escapism. You know, like, they're how we kind of chill out and we, like, do... Or like, rage really hard with Counter-Strike. Like, you hate it, but you love it, and that's how it feels. And that's the thing I love, is that, like, you know, we're all just a bunch of, like, little nerdy, sweaty gamers at the end of the day. And some of those people then go on to turn that into a fully fledged career. Something that was originally, you know, like, just born out of passion and a love for the game. Well, it goes on to be the entire thing in their life, and it is just beautiful. Oh, it's beautiful. And Poison, you're beautiful as well, because he's back in the server, ladies and gents. Here he is. Not going away. One of those e-athletes that I'm talking about. He's back and ready to party.
Yeah, one of Bulgaria's best right now, and he needs to show us why. Because right now, Cole down, but not out. Map up. And on their pick as well. A bit of flat T side right now. We're wondering who's doing the calling here for Na'Vi. It's guess who? Is it Electronic? If it is, man. Give this guy a raise. He's had every read. He's had every stat. And Na'Vi have had near about every round. Will that keep up? Because they win 8 in a row, they lose 1, and now look at them. Look at this fight. Orb, and broken otherwise. But we've seen Na'Vi do more with less, so don't count them out of this one. Cole, if they can win it, they can put Na'Vi on pistols, and suddenly an 8-7.5 is not out of the realms of possibility. Welcome back.
Yeah, so it's been a little while. This tech pause, right, kind of took the momentum out. If you guys have forgotten what's happened, don't worry. We're here to break it all down. Complexity, they just came in with that little deco win, right? Immediately breaking the money of Na'Vi. Well, Na'Vi have decided they're going to go for broke. They force-bought into this round, including a glass ore on Simple. A lot of pressure on him to try and step up with this in a round such as this one. Na'Vi is stacked heavy towards B again. This has been something that they've nailed every single time they've made this call. Complexity have ended B and ran into the stack. Finally, though, Cole might bypass it altogether. As they take this mid control, they deal with Bit on Cat, already a man down for Na'Vi. Now mid control lost with Connector. Looking to be a bit of a focal point here for both teams.
Yeah, Simple pops Perfecto into the apartment, so he's got that info that now it's clear, and now Cole's going to crunch Connector. Boomish up close, they don't clear it, rush down. Boomish jumping, and he's going to get a double. That's great stuff for Boomish. Simple trapped, locked in the corner, trying to flash his way out, trying to survive. The tide of T is coming his way, and even supported by one more player. Electronic helps him out, dropping the bomb, and this is falling apart for Complexity. Double for Electronic. Simple not needed, but he'll be here anyway. Just in case JKS makes this one interesting. Need to move before that smoke fades, because then he's open to Catwalk. Rush comes in, and the spam 2, JKS kills Perfecto, but so low, 2 players, no time. JKS, he's not ready for Electronic, he tries to grab the bomb, and that was never going to happen. Electronic swings in for the trade, 3 kills from him. All it took was a CZ after all. How do pros make this gun look good? I don't get it.
I don't get it either. It's like pinpoint for these guys. And look, Electronic CZ delivers everything to Na'Vi. Now at triple the scoreline of that Cole, and looking to run away with this first half.
Still broke.
Still broke, but still finding kills is Electronic. And ends up being Blame F who's the broken man in this round.
He broke, but Na'Vi here to fix it. Pulled it back in. Like their name is Bob, it's JKS getting a kill out A. Simple back of CT, been great in this position as day is no change. think picked off the stairs. Again, the bomb lost. That seems all too familiar territory here for Cole. Poison does get a cat kill. That at least gives him a little more room to work with towards the connector. Molly comes down. Smoke on top. The wall back for JKS has rid simple in the round. Can the bomb cross? Oh, it might have to. Electronic denied. And this time JKS is ready for that fight. Cole find a 4. And despite Na'Vi coming in with another, I say force fight. It was there a 1 round in the prior, but losing 4 players in the process. This time, finally, it slips by the wayside and Cole are given a way back in. Ooh, rebound for Na'Vi. That's confident. I like it.
จัดแม่งโคตร
Nothing screams confidence like a man screaming confidence, but also a force fight. Palace push as well for Na'Vi. They take this map control away immediately. Look at Boomich. Look at how aggressive he's gone. JKS will dome bit through the bottom of that smoke. And that's now enticed Cole into this A bomb site. Boomich pushing out of Palace, focusing his attention on ramp, is open to connector. This doesn't look like it's been commed across. Doesn't matter because he's dead to ramp anyway. The A site belongs to Cole, and Na'Vi hedge their bets over towards B are just going to be saving.
Yeah, exits would be nice here. You don't want to throw everyone at it, obviously, if you're Cole, but definitely look to take some of these guns away, or the armor at least, force the reinvestment. Blame has done that. So Cole, yeah, ooh, bye-bye. But still looking for the 6th round half. It seems very attainable right now. They're going to try and stop that AK getting grabbed, but Electronic uses the smoke actually to his advantage. Doesn't really help out that much. It cuts off Poison. 5th round for Cole. Maybe steps back into this map. Na'Vi, despite 8 rounds in a row, it's not plain sailing all the way to the finish line. Right here is the main reason that Na'Vi reforced into that round, right? 1900 loss. It's not like you're full of money right now. Could have been a very similar buy to the previous round.
ไม่ออกตั้ง10 เราเลยเจ
Not ready for that speed, that pace. 2 players pushing up and now 1 AK doubles. They keep going. Rush is waiting. The call was made. He was ready for another. Deep smoke in B, thrown by Perfecto out of spawn. And that's going to tempt Rush away. He didn't know, but B was completely clear. Conflict's about to figure it out the hard way. Getting taken down by Simple. Boomish spotted up the ladder leg, sticking out. That's info for Cole. They know they're walking into the stack, but they've at least dealt with 1 of 2. Do they know about the 3rd? They're about to. Perfecto waiting. You can already see that bomb is rotating out. Poison getting out of there as Rush gains more ground towards B. And Na'Vi have read this well. But they are both spotted, taking down Rush on this bomb site. Well, they will arm Simple. They will also send that bomb rotating back out.
Oh, that's quick. That's disgusting.
This is awkward now.
And now the bomb does have to begin that journey back to A. Na'Vi, having already read this once, are they going to read it again? They send Perfecto back towards the A bomb site. This time, though, JKS isn't as deep as someone like Rush was into the B bomb site, right? He's still having to clear out ramp. He's still having to be slow on his approach. Simple's waiting at B. Perfecto has been entrusted with this A bomb site. Even getting 1 for 1 here would be lovely for Perfecto. He's got this 1 AK, this 1 rifle, but firing too soon and dead to JKS does leave it all on Simple. This Deeg rotating down to connector. Simple. Pretty tall order on his plate. Poison with the AWP, swings it wide and locks in 6 for Cole. Na'Vi up in the lead. 3 between them in complexity and trying to take us the distance, trying to take us to a 3rd. Can the Na'Vi squad get us there?
I think we initially took him in as mostly like on CT side like an anchor, and on T side like either like he's always like either been like lurking on T sides or been the last guy of the pack going in. So let's say we're going in 3 rifles, then he would be like the 3rd guy of that, or if it's like maybe like more of a mid-round situation, then probably more like lurking on the other side of the map. So either one of those 2 always.
Chưa mình đặt. Biết không mình đặt.
Oh yes, Navi up in the lead right now. Complexity right behind them. Right behind them. Yeah. Trying to slide in at the finish line. Ooh, take it all away. But can they do it? Will they do it? Will Navi let them do it? These are the questions we've got to answer. And this second half is going to be chock full of answers. Blame F, look at this aggression. He's running up in the top mid, and Boomich is on the receiving end of that USP push. JKS in with another in the meantime, and this pistol round has gone off to a disastrous start for Navi.
Yeah, great to see Cole not coming cold right to begin this half. They've cooked things up, and right now boiling over in a 5-on-1 with not a point of damage taken. Oh dear, Electronic has no clue. I thought for a second maybe a knife, but instead Config just takes the kill while he's got it, right? It's not like Cole are in control of this game just yet, but that will certainly set them up to do so. Now we can't really force, not an easy thing to justify in this position, considering we just had a pistol with no bomb plant, no kills. So PT50 on Electronic, and by and large, fully go here for Navi. We'll let this CT side build and build some more. Simple's gone with a deagle, and even though that will cost you in the future, it's a worthwhile investment for a man who's having a great game right now, 17 and 9. Oh, chunky nade. And Cole already feeling a lot better about this push deep towards B as well. 3 on that A site where Navi are grouping.
Poison. Oh, he's just waiting. He's just waiting. And yeah, patience gets rewarded. It's a virtue after all. There it is, the round locked in. Nice, clean, pretty much everything we could have hoped for.
P250 splash. That's a throwback.
That is a throwback.
That's an opening case.
That's a nice little skin.
Bravo? What is that?
That is one of the older ones. I'm trying to think exactly. Really.
I feel like my head goes to Bravo. No, maybe, I don't know. It's old school. Remember the esports case?
Yeah, with like the death by Kitty in there, P90. That's a nice little skin right there.
Wow. Shout out skins one time, all the old ones.
And some of the new ones too.
Yeah, and maybe even some middle-aged ones.
Middle-aged skins. Yeah. Look at this. Aggression into the apartments. Cole, really not afraid to bring the fight to Na'Vi. Already something we're noting on this CT side, right? So many of these rounds have been met by aggression. I say so many, the 3 rounds in. Stop being dramatic. In one of these 3 rounds, they've been met by aggression. Now Cole, we're going to do it again. Mid-control taken by Na'Vi. Poison, waiting and connected. Trying to strike a good timing here, but might be striking a deal with the devil himself on this peak in the mid. How has he survived? Yeah, I was going to say, the trade comes out.
Simple's not going to be happy with that. There were 4 players in middle. No one was covering it. I mean, Boomish was looking, but yeah, with the angle, the Poison gets away with Simple first. It shouldn't be happening. Okay, player in the window being considered. And the spot, scope up, will let Blame down as Perfecto picks up the kill. Now the B split comes in with Perfecto on a flank as well. There's no one in B. Rush is deep in amps right now, and Perfecto, instead of flanking, he's going to cut off rotates. B is free. Rush, 1 kill would do a lot here. And this position from Perfecto won't even count as Collar coming right up from the catwalk, and they molly off Rush. They read it so well.
Oh.
Yeah, there is this temporary 3-on-2 though, because Perfecto's holding for rotations. These rotations are never going to arrive. Rush.
Oh, we got out.
Oh, he's in the sight. Rush. Ooh, getting deeper. Now taken out by Boomich. There's the trade. Still waiting his Boomich at the truck. The time is becoming a problem. Perfecto back in from the CT position. And now just Config left to beat. He's only got a tag. Config getting the kill. And it's going to be very, very close, but he might have it, and there it is, Complexity. He gets off the bomb in the final, seconds to secure that kill, and has enough time to defuse. That's a gnarly 1v1 from Config.
Really good stuff. I mean, for a second, I looked alright for Na'Vi as well, because even though Perfecto is not getting anything done on that rotate position, it's information at least. It's like, it's telling your team that you know it's absolutely sure. They can set up that position, they can discover the 3 spots, and Perfecto has a lineup through the smoke. He almost killed Config through it, but doesn't want to gamble, you know? He doesn't want to get stuck. He's just got to go. And almost times that amazingly, but Config, a couple of seconds left, he knows his timings. He's listening to that bomb music. And Cole, okay. 9-6 down, win a pistol. First rifle locked in. Not a bad one for Na'Vi. They make it interesting. And, you know, we still have questions about this T side, about where it's going. So, better get on the board sooner rather than later, because you don't want to leave it until Cole are already in control.
Complexity at a key juncture in this game. They win this, they're springboarding themselves up into the lead. Now Config is probably dead. That flash is brutal. You don't get blinder than that.
He didn't even want to go down.
No, he was trying to do the short jump. So yeah, he ends up throwing himself into lower. Didn't even want to be there. And then he really didn't want to be there. Oh, Rush, all of this aggression in through the apartments. Steve, he's up on the sofa. Oh, take a seat, Perfecto. Simple, trades it out at least with a second man waiting in the wings in the form of Blame F. Just trying to stay alive, trying to buy time, but wrapping him up in the sight and from above. Simple, gonna cut him out. Poison has arrived and is in the sight. Lands that flick, but can't follow up onto Electronic. It leaves JKS in the 1v2.
What a mess around. Na'Vi in a good position to close. No kit, but there is one dropped, as you can see. JKS creeping through. Electronic up in the side, boosted and waiting. It's a hard one to clear, but JKS has got it. Oh, but he doesn't want to jump up or just wait. The element of surprise. JKS with a lot to clear and not a lot of time to clear it. Needs to get that kit first. Oh, and he gets Pete drawing a smoke out. The timing could not have been worse. And that's Na'Vi coming in with a 10th round. No fear of these B crunch, just going right back for it, right? And, you know, that player on the car, you would have loved to see a jump spot coming through for Blame. That right to bait them into Rush, who maybe could have got more. And Blame, even though he gets that first kill, he's getting trapped from Electronic and Sight Simple and Apps. It's very hard to pick those fights, to know which one you're going to get faced by first, because he saw a player jump out window. Went from bad to worse for Cole. And now Na'Vi, even with an AWP to boot, Config, same vein, he's pushed in through the B apartments.
Hello. Oh, the ramp crunch. Missed shot for Simple, and the bomb is now dropped as well. Oh my word, everything has just been uprooted with those 2 kills. Na'Vi now, they might have been within the A site. Config catches them rotating, so not even the A site is safe anymore. They've got to try and get the bomb off the ramp. And while that's happening, Complexity are actively making this net just, you know, crunch even tighter around Na'Vi. They're trapped and they're losing space by the second. With each second they're losing, they're also running out of time, so it really is a rough spot to be in. Perfecto and Boomich, what do you even want to do here? You're getting fought for angles you couldn't even begin to clear.
Yeah.
And so Complexity find it with that force fire, with the ramp push.
Works wonders, right? Simple there with the AWP as well, and not even the cover was there for Bit, who's having a bit of a trouble here in this T side as well. And yeah, Na'Vi realize what to do in that round, right? They start to try and hunt down those net players, as you call them, right? Not the ones on the bomb. They know that they are going to stay put. They're going to stay on the package. They're going to hunt everyone else, and they don't get a single kill back in. So now Broken and Cole with a second win and a second AWP. Config back on B. Poison in CT. Simple hits some bangers from this position first half. Poison's going to need to do the same. Ooh, double ramp smoke, not what you wanted. Bit of a waste of util, but just a miscon. Speed up those fights. They'll come sooner now as Na'Vi set for this A split. Blame watching for a cat play, and oh, the timing could not have been worse. Boom's just gotten into ladder, and they have no idea. Rush is keeping his eyes on the corner, though. Blame spots him getting out as well, so likely to end A here with the players feeding up Palace, and traded is Poison. Bit's dead though, and Rush isn't going to let them get much further up connector 2 for him. It's only Simple with the Deagle, 1 on 4, and not being given anything. He decides to tuck tail and run away, faking the footsteps, but no one close enough to hear it. And while they cut off T-Spawn to make sure he can't go anywhere fast, back into the A side, back into the impossible for Simple.
With this triple setup in the A site, the trade potential is just off the charts, and Simple, struggling to find any of these players, is finally given a fight by JKS, and he ends it very, very swiftly. 11 now on the board for Cole, back in the lead. If you remember how this game started, Na'Vi, they were 8-2 up. They couldn't set a foot wrong, it felt like. Now that lead has been reduced. Finally, Complexity are the ones in pole position. Double AWP keeping up appearances here on the Complexity CT side. Split between Config and Poison landing the short jump. Scoped up now on top mid with the AK spamming the window. They run boost a player over the top, and now they learn about this mid AWP as well. Nades are good to find some free damage. Onto Boomich. That's really the extent of this mid play for now. Na'Vi have got the control in middle that they wanted.
And again, just apps presence for Cole. Oh, that's a... what a Molotov. They bounce it off of the lampshade and it goes into the corner. There's no accurate way that you can safely, you know, molly that corner while being on the balcony. But that one's quite the bounce. Style points for Cole. They molly a player out. He's forced to run right back. But Simple's still here for the opener. Bits up Cat, and Simple saved his life with that shot onto Blame. Poison now watching, but Bits up and passed it into the ladder. Set for what could be a B split here, but still without that apartment's control, they got to regain it first. Meanwhile, those Apps players for Cole are pushed up on the catwalk, trying to fight middle. Boost for the orb. Simple could be on the chopping block if they go one step further. Bit as well yet to be seen. Yet to be heard. He's silent, drops down. Electronic gets an A pick. That sells a fake further. Bits up in the B side now. And Electronic's out on Palace at the same time. Now he have both bomb sites in their control. And Electronic's going to find a call for the bomb to come back. He doesn't check it though. JKS holds the shot. And now he takes it. The bomb.
Oh no!
Simple with a huge kill off the AWP. And it does get recovered by Na'Vi, who are again pushing both sides at the same time. So they kill Cole where they stand. But for a second, that got very scary.
If it wasn't for Simple hitting that shot onto JKS, that round could very realistically get out of control. So yeah, huge trade out of Simple. Complexity is still strong enough to buy here, and still good to keep that double AWP in play. AMF once again tasked with holding middle, but he smoked off immediately. Na'Vi this time, they're not messing around with the mid control anymore. They're quick to take this territory away. Are they going to keep this pace up, or does it all slow down a little bit once they're solidified, you know, in the ladder room, once they've taken mid away from Complexity? Are they going to wait and see what the responses are, or do we see them pick up the pace and attempt to take this B site away?
Conflict again with this long line. Oh, the timing. My goodness, that's not the first time we've seen Cole get caught on the back end of that, drawing a smoke out and getting insta-peaked. Now, fastened to be. Blame gets here in time. But no one else has rotated. It wasn't a commitment for Na'Vi, not out of the gate, still stuck in a default. Now, in fact, grouping back on A, that's at least where the majority of Coles sit right now. 3 players here. So Na'Vi with the misread in this round, but they could still metal their way through, right? They have enough players, enough firepower, and enough utility to run a full execute into this A site. Good time to do it, but not a lot of time to do it. 30 seconds on the clock, and Cole used all of their grenades. Now it's about the gunfights.
JKS hears it, he knows, he's good for the opener. He can't afford to go slow, this has to be clean, it's got to be quick, and Poison isn't moving a muscle, trying to hold wrong. Bits catch him from the short side. Blame F, all alone in the 1v2, could try to deny the plant. Bits are holding for it, the bomb goes down, Simple left in the 1v1, but Blame F swinging out from CT and never getting checked, never getting accounted for, has stolen that round away from Na'Vi. The late A play in a 5-on-4 ends in favor of Cole.
Wow, great rotate out for Blame as well. Like, obviously Cole have a huge setup on that A side that Na'Vi walk right into, which poisons Blame for the 2v1, but he hit every shot he had to. He wanted to deny the plant, solo time, and realized he couldn't, and got the kill anyway as Bit clears jungle. Simple really full sent it for the fight there, and Blame spams him. So Cole, they live to fight another day. This is neck and neck. This is a great game out of both teams right now. Na'Vi may have been asleep back on the first, but woken up in time for the series. Can they recover though? Can they respond? Both teams money on the edge. Whoever loses this is in quite hot water, as they're going to be broken near the end of the map. Especially if it's Na'Vi at this point. Cole already have a 1-round lead. Gotta be careful on B at these timings. Rush is alone in the apartments. He's got config on short. Double FAMAS, and all in the right hands this time. Poison getting that kill and looking for more. Doesn't want to let it go with a man advantage. Rush topped up on the balcony. The B Rush is coming in. Oh, jumping back 10. Config double kill on his plate. He gets it. Bomb drops. Simple looking for the trade. And he doesn't miss those. A chance after all. Na'Vi with the time to spare. And a 2v2 Blame is prepped out.
Don't know about it. They don't know that he's in the site. He hears one now up in the apartment. Doesn't know about Simple though. Blame F and Simple are side by side. They're right next to each other. Oh, now in the back and just Simple standing 1v2 tucked in at the bench. Oh, Simple does not know where to begin to look for JKS, but it's not him. He has to be worried about Blame F. outmaneuvering Na'Vi. They might have plenty of time, but they don't have any space.
Wow. Yeah, he knew exactly what Simple was doing as well. It looked like he just wasn't considering it. I thought he would take the freebie while he had it, but he wanted everything. He wanted the round. He wanted the 2-for-1 blame. What was a steal?
That's also back-to-back, like 1v2s for Blame. I know that one there, he did have a teammate, but like JKS didn't play into that round at all, you know? That was all Blame F.
Wow, yeah, really good play from Blame. Like, you know, to pull that, you know, play against Simple, when you know he's out there with the AWP, and to not take that shot, not try and hunt the kill while you could, that's everything.
Really, like, you know, we've had a great performance as so many players on Cold today. I think Poison took really good. Rush was incredible back on Dust, and he's kept up a decent performance here on Mirage. But the guy who has likely just won this series for Complexity, like if you want to look at it like that, is Flame F, with the back-to-back clutch attempts that come up in favor of Cole, now breaking the money of Na'Vi. This is where you want to put this game to bed. Like, this is where you want to end it right now. You don't give any more room to Na'Vi. So let's see if they are able to beat out this partial buy.
Yeah, you're relying on one rifle round if you're Na'Vi. As much as they've done with the low economy rounds, like this should not be one for them. Right ahead of the smoke. Oh my goodness. He's feeling it now. Ready to close. Up on the box. Going to boost above the smoke. That could be Config's free kill as well. Nades do even more damage. Boomich does dodge death. He has that one smoke left up for Na'Vi. Double ramp setup, at least watching it. Blame dinked down with a deagle through the corner and cleaned up by Bit. Great jiggle work. Wiggling his way to a win. This is not a round that Cole can afford to lose, not just economically, but, you know, in the way that this game is going, you give Na'Vi their second wind. And so now things get antsy, now they get awkward.
Yeah, now you're like really feeling the pressure, right? Like whenever we spoke to pros, they always say these rounds feel the roughest, especially when you lose a player early on, because now everyone is paranoid, right? You're not wanting to give this round away, and it might force you to play a little more conservatively, a little more safer than normal. And so they batten down the hatches on A, leaving Config alone at the B bomb site. He has to do a hell of a lot, but luckily enough, Config is good to hold on. Now down to the USP, finally overwhelmed. But he's done all he had to do and then some. The bomb cross is denied. And for Perfecto, that's a hard one. He can't do anything in the 1v3, so I'm allowed to mess up his voice line. 14 up on the board for Cole.
Would have been awful in a frag movie. But thank goodness he lost. I've been there. I've been in the series. That is a hard one. Yeah. Oh, a slip of the tongue and a slipped shot for Na'Vi. All they had to do was kill Config. All they had to do was get past that one man in B, and that would be a bomb plant. That would be armed Na'Vi players to the post plant with a long rotate for Cole. But instead, Config holds strong when he had to. 3 up on shore. And so, you know, it may only be pistol kills, but in the context of that round, it was massive. Cole stands tall in the round that they should and had to win, right? But this one now is where Na'Vi have their final buy, their final chance to keep this series going and to keep their tournament lifeline in ESL Pro League as well. Just scraping their way through the group stages and getting dragged out of the playoffs by the scruff of their shirt.
That's the thing, you know, that like Fury are probably watching on, hoping that Na'Vi do something with this chance that they were given, and yet it might all get stripped away. Config, aggressive in middle, trying to apply that pressure liberally, but never spots anything, never sees anyone. Crossing out into mid, that's info for Cole. I'll start to rotate Config around, back into B, nice and early. He's now here to help out Rush. Na'Vi want nothing to do with B though, it's back into middle late in the round. Plenty of utility still to spare, so they can look to nullify this window position, or they could boost up into it.
Oh no.
Oh, Blame F has just moved back into the window. Poison. Only the tag somehow. Now back on Palace. Flame's getting a little paranoid about window, but he's dropping util that's still securing kills. The apartment's control has been taken away by complexity, and so now there's players pushing in through lower. Poison dealing with simple, traded by Boomich, and Perfecto getting a bit of room in the window, but that kill there has likely stripped it all away from Na'Vi. The bomb lost in mid, JKS on cleanup there to close it, and complexity are at match and series point now, looking to 2-0 Na'Vi.
Yeah, Simple's had a great game, but if we look ahead to head, Poison's been all over it all series along, right? Again, Best in another all battle, and a huge one at that. Blame drops the nade, finishing the leg that Poison hit on another player, and essentially, you know, setting up for 2 kills is Poison. Him and Simple both for 24 kills. JKS there as well. Blame 1 behind, and Cole 4 ahead. All blue on that score, but again, the Na'Vi T-sides let them down, don't they? 2 rounds to their name. Some close situations, some favored positions, but closing the rounds is not available. And now we have to close with the series, surely. Na'Vi forcing, putting together $3,000 to $4,000 a player and begging for mercy.
ยายสายอีสเตอร์นะกิจกรรมนี้ก็คงจะปลูกไข่ครับเท่าที่เห็นปลูกไข่อันนี้ปลูกไข่ครบตามจำนวนผมว่าปลูกไปเรื่อยๆมั้งมันก็จะแจกพวกของแถมเนี่ยครับจะมีปลดล็อกมาที1 2 3 6อย่างแต่มันมีประมาณ8อย่างอาจจะมีปลดนอกจากมืดๆอีกน่าจะมีกระต่ายปลูกกันเหนื่อย500ต่อไปก็น่าจะ1,000 ถึง 2,000นะผมว่า
Now they can do it right, and they can keep this overtime dream ticking on. Conte getting a timing to get into ladder, peaks lower, remove simple, huge scalp to find. The trade's in for electronic, so they've at least reclaimed the 4-on-4. All they have for it is this little avenue over here in mid. This might kind of force a mid to be out of you, right? You don't have any palace control, you don't have any ramp control, you don't really know what's going on at A. All you've got is these apartments. Perfecto's throwing in, the rest of the guys trying to get down short, but Rush has been waiting for this moment, and so they dodge him again, they leave him, they go back to bit over in connector. Maybe? Or, no, they assemble the boost. Oh, electronic taking a little peek. Maybe Rush does get his chance. 30 seconds. Na'Vi have to go somewhere. Can't just hang in limbo forever. Jungle control's been taken, and now Na'Vi are like, right, that's our path into A. We've got jungle. We've locked down this point of rotation. They're trying to get into the site, but waiting back in CT. JKS all alone. Spamming, trying to deny that bomb plant. Can't do it. Poison's now moved in to help him. Bits the next man to grace the scoreboard, and in with a double. Maybe there's still a chance. It's all on a bit. Open up this 3v4 with 2 of his own. Now he needs the full house, and there he is in with the 3rd. Just Poison left to fight. It's a clash of titans here. The bomb is tapped. Poison looking for the peak, and he nails the shot. It's a damn good try from Bit, but complexity, in all their might, they get it over the line. 2-0, taking Na'Vi out of the runnings, while complexity tell their own tale and blaze their own trail in these playoffs.
Would you give up the fight if you had no time to even surrender? Would you give up your rights to let your life slide away? Walk on the gate, that feeling hate when it suffocates at the bottom. Don't take the bait, just walk away. vasectomy. That's the kid. I don't want a smaller me. Actually, possibly. I'm rapping off the beat. Whoa, I like big cases filled with blue faces. Talking money, money, money. I'd rather not buy.
ต้องคอมเพล็กชนะแล้วนาวีไอ้ยะ ต้องย้ายทุกสลับกันกูลอยได้เลยต้นไม้จะได้ทองนี่มันจะบอกเลยว่าทองได้เนี่ยทองได้เนี่ยต้นไม้
There's a bracket playoff match, round of one here for Navi and Complexity, and would you know it, Cole have 2-0'd that of Not a Sincere, knocking them straight on out, and that is the end of that. They're just one of the results we're going to be talking about today. We're starting to close down the studio and ultimately get a post-match interview in here. I've got Yanko and Kassad kind of interviewing them at the same time. Kassad, what do you think about that game?
It's again that Navi's T side kind of betrayed him. I mean, this time it wasn't really that bad.
Wait,
It was 2 pistols again. It wasn't a really bad T side. I think there was a lot of close rounds that didn't really go in the way of Navi. Not a single one of those, to be honest. And Complexity just won it at the end.
And that was just about how it all kind of went. And for a guy like Blame F, I imagine he's got some things to say. You know, Yanko, what would you ask Blame F? Like, if, you know, you've joined us here any second.
How does it feel to win so many clutches?
Yeah, Blame, how does it feel to win so many clutches?
First of all, hello, of course. Hey, everyone. I mean, I've won a couple of clutches, but honestly, I didn't even feel like I won that many clutches. It was usually just like one-on-ones where I knew where he was and that stuff. So I don't really think that was the most important thing about the game today. I think like a lot of our teammates had some really important 3Ks and 4Ks when we were like the round where we could have been ruined our economy. I think that's like more like better to highlight right now. That was really sick, especially by Config and Rush, I think.
Yeah, congrats on the win. Well, first I want to go back a little bit, considering you guys played the group stage almost 4 weeks ago, right? And you looked much better than you did in Katowice. So what was the main focus from the group stage up until this game? What did you focus on?
And we focused mainly on 2 things. We focused one on our weak maps, which obviously wasn't what we played today. We played maps we're pretty comfortable with, but we focused a lot on our weak maps. I think we used the first 1.5 weeks on just grinding the same maps every single day just to play the maps we're not very comfortable with. And then the second thing was we wanted to add some new stuff because we kind of feel like we done a lot of the same stuff. So pretty much all the maps we have some new tactics or like some new defaults or just something else to fall back on in case what we like to do usually doesn't work.
Yeah, right. Congratulations first on the win for the great game. What I need to ask you is pretty much like your preparation is something that you guys used to do a lot in the past, and it was like one of the important things for you. Going into this game against Navi, Navi is not a classic team that you prepare against the same way. Is it something special that you did to prepare for this game, or is it just something that you generally do?
We actually changed a little bit this time because I remember when we were best was back when we did all the anti-strats together, me and my coach, and we went, instead of watching on Shadow GG anti-strat or anything like that, we went on the server and watched all the demos to make sure that we caught like every single detail. And we did this for this game as well. We said like we have a lot of time now, so might as well just put all the effort and put all the extra hours into it. So this time we actually went and did all the anti-strat through like normal demos and played against the execution and all that, which we usually did when we were best back in the days. So yeah, I think that helped a lot, honestly, not only for the team, but also specifically for my understanding of the game. When I sit and watch all the demos myself together with him, then it makes it easier than when someone tells you just like overall what to do.
So my question is going to come in from the other side, and that has to deal with, you know, when you watch a team, say like Virtus Pro, what do you think about Virtus Pro's playstyle?
I think, honestly, I love the CIS teams and the way they play. I steal a lot of stuff from them. It's always a go-to if there's match we're really bad at. It's like, okay, which CIS team are we gonna watch this time? So yeah, we just we get a lot of inspiration from that, from not only VP but Gambit and those kind of teams. And I think they have a very unique playstyle. But I think it's a playstyle that a lot of people can I wouldn't say like get inspired from, but kind of like it's an easy way of. It's easy to understand the way they play and to copy it, but of course, like to master it, you have to be good players as well. But I think it's just such a simple way of playing Counter-Strike that you can learn a lot from it, and we have definitely done that on a few maps, like caught a lot of inspiration from those different teams. But yeah, they have Yigadar. He's a really aggressive player and he plays really well. I think he's like the biggest X factor on the team.
So you feel like going up against them because you study them so much, you have a good chance of beating them and making the final round of playoffs?
I mean, yeah, of course, I think we have a good chance of beating them, but I think they're a really insane team. But yeah, I think both teams can win, but we're definitely expecting and hoping to win for sure.
Yeah, well, that's certainly what you've got up on your plate, man. Well, again, congratulations for putting Navi out here and staying alive. Second round of playoffs for ESL Pro League, so congratulations, Blaine.
Thank you very much.
See you later. See you. Well, at least he was honest with us. You know what? If you don't have a strat, you heard exactly what the man said to do. Go borrow something from the CIS.
Yeah, it's what everyone does, right? Like you look at other teams. Usually you don't copy the strat one for one. You always change a little bit, something that you think maybe would be better for your team or for your players. But I mean, that's how the meta game evolves all the time, right? Someone figures out something new, you copy it, then there's a counter to that, and it just keeps happening.
It's a bonus answers, no BS, nothing.
Just kind of laying it out there, just kind of like the Avangar smokes, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like thanks for the laugh. See, that was a genuine laugh. Let's take a look at the results for today. Should be of no surprise. Virtus Pro. Well, it was almost a big surprise right there. It actually got down to the very nitty-gritty at the
Historic comeback on Dust 2. Trace, never in the history of the game did someone come back being down 15-3 a CT on Dust 2 to win the game in like a zillion matches. VP did it today.
Yeah, and I think a zillion was the number that Peter used in his stat line. So you are onto something there. Complexity also onto the next round of the playoffs, because after beating Navi and putting them out, they get to fight again and again and again and again. Until they lose, of course, then they're out. The play-ins are also coming up here sooner rather than later. It's not tomorrow. In fact, it's not even until later next week, but those teams are waiting. They are just sitting there. Heroic, Nip, Gambit, Astralis. Oh boy, Kassad.
Yeah, Gambit, Astralis. That's the one that we need to pay attention to.
That's the big one.
That's gonna be a big one.
Yes, it is. Take a look at tomorrow's schedule. What do we have for him, Yanko? What do you think?
Furia G2, I think that's going to be a hype one. Furia hasn't really been that convincing so far in this tournament, and G2 as well, by the favor of the pistols that they won against Liquid, managed to eke out in that series. So, G2 needs a convincing win here, I feel like, to boost their confidence and really make them a contender for this tournament. They haven't been in our conversation for, who can take this whole thing.
Yeah, and weirdly enough, you're right. Don't worry, though. We'll pick up where we left off tomorrow. Sunday. Just one shy of a Sunday of championships caliber. We're going to be jumping out of here. Thank you so much, everybody. Good night. Adios. Sayonara. Buenos noches. Gute Nacht.
Lock noite.
Lock noite.
Wait.
Yes.
ลาโปวองอีตัววันนี้ลาโปวองเท่าไหร่โอ้ตัวละ10,000บ้าต้องดูขอล่าง
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
I think it's important for these initiatives to happen. Empathy really goes a long way, and it always means so much to us, and I think that's where initiatives like this really help.
I encourage everyone in the community, anytime they see bullying, anytime they see someone getting called names, I encourage you to step up and say something.
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck, have fun.
Wow, so what? Rồi. Mình đi ngoài hỏi gì vậy? PL จบแล้วเหรอมีให้ดูไหม
Moment now then. Yeah, Magic is going to be forced away from the green train, so he has to go play a bit.
มาดูเคนนี่เอส
For a good reason, they don't really need to use.
No. I pick Sunny, Magix, because Magix is a nice guy. No, wait. No, let me carry it. No! I'm expecting to carry it.
ทำสนุกได้ใช้เพชรมหาศาลนะครับ
No, it's fine. Go back. Suck my cock, bro. You keep beating me, bro.
No. กระดำน้ำมันหมดหมดตังตู้ด
You're not captain, bro. That's fine, huh? Nice. Exactly what I wanted you to do. Congratulations, guys. You lost that game before even playing it. No, I'm joking. I know you. See? Like, I want to carry, bro. You don't need to carry, bro. Let me play with carry. I love that guy. No, because, you know, people tend to underestimate. Yeah, exactly. And me, I know, bro. I played against you so many times in my life that I know you're the same. It's such a treasure. She wants to come out, yeah. Ouais, il est moi j'étais seul pour ça. Guys, I cannot choose that knife, so the god. Let's see. T-slide. It's not bad. I like the animation. I do my best work.
รู้ไหม48เฮ้ยขาดหน่อยเนี่ย
Wait, anime. Oh, I'm confused.
อ๋อกูสร้างอะไรอยู่ร้าน
Yet. Always bleed. Oh my god. Oui, mon cher.
Ui.
It's not that bad actually. No, it's not that bad actually. Let's give them Tetanus! Tetanus! Tetanus!
ต้องออกมาตรงไหนดี
Good job, guys. Have they launched? I want to. Maybe bro, you sick of plan B, you fuck them.
Take one, please. It's fine. Take a feed till Lobo goes contact them, okay?
I'll try to take it.
Is one cannon? I will go close.
One is pit. Nothing, Smith. The one heading close banana.
Play a group.
Oh fuck, one mid already. One mid was so good. He's very long.
ไปทำเข้ามาไม่ใช่เหรอ
One guy rest me. I will flash.
Yeah, we do go. Like literally, you want to flash when they have car control?
Yes. You need to call. I can flash it further as well.
Right after the body.
ต้นไม้สองดอกต้นไม้สองต้นโอเค
Thank you, Fabio. Thank you for the 11 months, my bro. I appreciate you. We should take the. I will flash for you. Go for it. That was
Sunny, you play up?
Yeah. I smoke it and I'm all out.
I'll wait a bit for. flashing.
She's out.
Blind.
Better one. Close.
I will start with finish.
Play smoke long. One out.
We play 2-2.
Can we play from CT with me?
I'm open. One close. Pretty sure. One up.
มี2,000
Begin middle box.
You have a flash.
Hold pit.
I have a pit on the left.
Here's one.
You have a side?
Yeah, he was.
ตั้งมาทำอย่าง กูเมาอ่ะนี่เงินกูเมาอ่ะกูสร้างมาช่วยทำออกมาโอ้เฮ้ย
Yeah, like me.
ชอบมากเมื่อกี้มันสร้างตัวมะพร้าวโอ้โห
I have double flash this time.
How Molly?
I have to both.
ไม้เท่าไหร่
One pit.
ไม้7,000ไม่เอามา7,000นี่แหละตรงนี้ปลูกขยะนี่เป็นข้าวปลาคิดได้ออก
I will go and I'll just play it at the beginning.
เดี๋ยวกูเลยมา
So you can play shot or mid out.
That's number 18.
หมดไออาหารใจเย็นๆเฮ้ย
This one start. Wrong side maybe.
Not that much.
No worries, you could have full back. What did G-Force?
I don't know.
shots.